www.outoflives.net.
Welcome friends to some more Dreams. In this video I am going to highlight some of the Dreams that I've played that I think are very, very well made. This first one is a Media Molecule experience, a Media Molecule Dream. It's Vecta Majoris, and it's one that I haven't seen highlighted very much in their promotional stuff. I think you see sort of like snapshots of it, a little bit of it, but you know, there's other things that they have made which kind of take the forefront of the marketing things, and I think Vecta Majoris is really good. It's a really good experience. We're going to jump into it. You might be able to tell Kolkano 6 is an asteroid harvesting outpost under attack. Are you brave enough to say it? You might be able to tell that this is kind of a sci-fi space sort of experience. As with some of these, very, very loud. We won't go to the settings, we'll jump straight into it. Vecta Majoris Galactic Adventures. And there you go, you're a little spaceship. So, it gives you a little bit of the controls there, but look at that. Look at that. It's just really good. Come on, shoot. You're, you know, in these. Ooh, I'm being targeted by someone. So you're just a ship flying around, trying to destroy these attackers. Whoa, I think we hit each other. You know, trying to save your this space station. Oh no, one of my allies has died. Ooh, I've gone out of the area. Quick, get back. I was. Oh, I'm still being chased. By someone. Kind of just randomly firing sporadically into the space. Need to stop firing. And do things like this so you can get people off your tail by barrel roll or dodge roll, I think, as it's called here. Oh, and I was just taken out there. So you can boost. So that will help you kind of get away from enemies. You can turn, boost a little bit. They are good. They lock on really well. But at least I'm keeping them away from the station. You want to be able to get right behind them. But the thing about this is, yes, it's made by Media Molecule. Yes, I mean, it looks good. It plays really well. It's really fun to play. But I can see this being remixed, you know, in that sort of in the Dreams fashion, being remixed to have like different skins on it. So whether you would throw, you know, X-Wing TIE Fighter sort of skins, you could do any kind of sci-fi space battles with this, really, and just bring in. So you don't have to make them. Died again. You don't have to make them yourself. You could just get some assets that other people have kind of made that you think are cool. You know, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars. There's so many different things you could kind of do to this, and also you could expand on it really well too by bringing in different weapons, maybe pickups sort of around the map and things. You have seen a few little blue spheres kind of everywhere, kind of dotted around the space station, and these are, I think. How did I miss that? Oh, that was terrible. That was some terrible playing. But yeah, point collected. So there's these points kind of around. Adds another dimension to it as well, because some of them are kind of, you know, through these sort of spaces. So you've kind of got to, you know, almost weave your way through the station, trying not to ignore everybody. But I mean, it's just so good. It's just so good. And again, you could expand on it in a way that you could have it as like a wave-based sort of thing. So maybe make the enemies a little bit easier to take down. You know, they go after a few sort of shots, but then just this progressive kind of like almost horde mode, I guess there is. I knew he was here somewhere. Ah, lame. Right, we'll leave it there. But it just kind of shows you the potential for Dreams, that you could take something like Vecta Majoris and just expand on it loads, improve it, put some skins on it if you wanted, make it into a fully fleshed out game. Just really fun to play as well. The next dream we're going to jump to, again, is very different to this, but is fun to play. And you can see it being turned into a much larger experience. Now we're looking at Spherical, demo version of Spherical. This is by xXRazorfistXx, from the creator of Ball World Adventures. Traverse through multiple worlds and into the unknown as you strive for greatness. This is a physics game where you're a ball and you're controlling the ball, rolling around different levels. What really stands out to me is just the quality of level in this. I'll show you the first one. You get a little fly through of kind of what you have to do. And I'm thinking, at first when this flew through, like, wow, okay, yep, I can see that. I'll start now. No. Just a little bit bigger. Okay, great, yep. Okay, I'll start now. No. Here we go. And just, I mean, look at the world. Look at these sort of like these floating panels. Just the quality of the ball, those different colours, almost Jupiter-esque in it. But you roll around, you've got some lives, and you have to sort of collect them. And I didn't get to a point in this demo version where I'd lost all my lives, so I guess you'd start again maybe. But I did complete those 4 worlds, and they just build perfectly on each other in terms of their aesthetics and what it's getting you to do. It's actually quite hard to chat and concentrate on something like this, but you essentially are just playing this very, very well made physics little thing to this pretty cool soundtrack. And what and the shadow looks really good, the world in its sort of abstract form looks really good, the ball looks excellent, and it's I'm not going to do the optional challenge, you can do that if you want to, but it's quite a simple kind of I came off, go back to the checkpoint. It's quite a simple kind of game to experience and get your head around and understand what you need to do. I mean, it's just so well made. And I'm going to go into the next level just to highlight, just to show you the difference in the aesthetic. I mean, look, suddenly we're in somewhere very, very different. Soundtrack changes, aesthetic on it changes, the ball itself is changed to match the aesthetic, and the progress through the level is slightly different to how it was in the first one. You know, a good set of changing mechanics. There's birds flying over there. Like, this is it's pretty ridiculous, but a really fun game. And I know that you get to the you get through these 4 levels, and there's going to be more made. This is only the demo version for the moment, so there's lots to kind of come back to, hopefully, at some point. And again, another experience which you could very easily see being picked up on PSN as its own game, rather than something you kind of access through Dreams, just through this level of quality and the ease at which you kind of play, how hard it kind of stacks you through. This is one, and there's no way I'll show you the optional challenge in this, because there's no way I'm going to do it, because I couldn't do it previously, because the platform rolls with you, and it's so hard to weight that ball against the platform like that. It just shows how well it's been done, how well it's been made to get all that. So that is Spherical, yes, the demo version, but by xXRazorfistXx. Very different to the Media Molecule shooter that we just saw, showing you the breadth of what you can get, the games that you can get in Dreams. And again, something that could be massive and its own game, really. The next dream I'll show you, again, community made, could be its own dream. It's pretty short in the in its current life, but we'll jump into it now. This dream by Ponyarin, called D-Darius, is, as you kind of would expect, a side-scrolling shmup. I know in a previous video I said I wasn't going to feature like dreams made on IPs, but I think this one is pretty true to the Darius series, you know, the arcade series, and is just fun to play. You start off in the little hangar. There's your ship. Looks pretty cool. Well, very well made. And you jump in here, and it shows you all of the instructions, and then you can just launch out. All of this is just very well made, and it jumps you sort of straight in to a very, very cool shmup. What were the controls? I've forgotten. I turned myself around. I wasn't meant to turn myself around. That was a terrible, terrible mistake. Stop my laser. There's pickups. You've got a shield. The movement is good. I mean, you know, you're on a 2D plane, and you can switch, so you can kind of make your way across the other side of the screen and then fire back. Why did I do that? I want that red one. Lame. I'm playing nowhere near as good as I did previously. Talking and playing is hard sometimes. But it's just got enough kind of going on that it's not too difficult. Oh no, I didn't kill him. Didn't get the fish that time. And then we're going underwater. Come on, fishies. Come on, fishies. Come back for me. Obviously, it's like the arcade game. There's a score. There's various different abilities. You're trying to just get as much as possible. And again, there is a boss at the end of this level. Now, currently in this form, it is only this. There is no more than this level. And then that boss battle sort of towards the end, but kind of at the moment, that's all you need, just to... Ooh, everything's hitting me. I should have gone in front there. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible bit of playing. It's just so much. You've got to concentrate. Again, like with the last game with the sphere, maybe not quite as twitchy with the sphere if you're kind of controlling it and going a little bit slower. This is it gives you those brief moments of reprieve, but there's kind of always something going on, always something coming. And now Iron Fossil, there he comes. Just even this scene of how you go into the boss battle with that text coming up, it's just very well made. And then it turns into your sort of classic dying lots sort of shmup style, where there's loads going on the screen. You've got to try and dodge as much as possible and still get all those shots off onto that boss. I'm trying to remember. And the music kicks in. Like, it's just really good. My laser going off, which you can place like a turret almost. And I died again. I think this is one of the best dreams I played. It just feels so responsive, feels good. This, I think I need to get out of the way. Oh, I did it. 63,000 points. No defeated bonus. I didn't get that, did I? Yeah, I want more of this. I absolutely want more of this. There's not many places you can kind of get this 2D side-scrolling shmup experience these days. They're not made that much. So I've really enjoyed D-Darius. I think it's very, very well made by ponyarin. Another shooter. Not the theme this week. The next dream, the final dream for today, is again very different to what you've seen so far, but has that level of quality to it, which it just made me think about it as soon as I thought I'd highlight some well-made dreams. So here we go. So this game works quite well on a number of levels. Purgatory, the most important waiting room in existence, by Godman 250. Let's jump in. This experience has something of a Stanley Parable nature to it. It is a walking sim where you have a lot of text. There's someone communicating with you within it, and you're shown this to begin with. Yeah, good luck. And I mean, the lighting works really well. There's a very pleasant soundtrack going on in the background. Makes you think of Tony Robinson. But yeah, I mean, just a cool little room, and you kind of definitely get those Stanley Parable voice. No narrator over the top, that would have been cool, but it takes away maybe a little bit if you had a narrator at the later stage of this. So, a lot of text as you're kind of walking through Purgatory, and it fits very well that you're just walking through this corridor. We've seen in a few games, stuff like PT remade in this, where you're kind of, just scrolling through a corridor, looking for things on that kind of walking sim sort of way. And this kind of works in a similar sort of fashion, but has that kind of, just that level of humour to it as well. I won't take you too far through it. I'll take you a little way, because I don't want to spoil too much. Did you see that? It hints things, tries to tell you to do different things, so go back to the waiting room. And I think when I first played this, I sat back in this waiting room for, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute before I'd kind of realised, or at least in that time, nothing was happening. Oh, okay, well, I've got free will. I don't just have to sit here in the waiting room. I don't have to listen to this whatever being it is showing me all of this text on the wall. But you kind of you're led a little bit, but then you're kind of given that choice, very much like in the Stanley Parable. Follow these instructions. Okay, no, actually, maybe you should make a choice. And then I'm just in like pitch black. I can't remember how quickly stuff actually changes, or where's it change? There it is. There's the little door. Oh, I've snuck through. Snuck through into a different space. Whoa. See? It just changes that sense of perspective slightly, to suddenly make you think that you're able to kind of be in control. And does it in a very, very good way. And suddenly you're in this space where stuff is kind of not how it's supposed to be. And it goes on. This expands a little more. Please go back. You don't want to go back. You want to keep going forward. Do I play through a little bit more? I don't want to spoil anything for people who want to experience this, but it you know, continues on like this with a good level of humour, a really good kind of vibe to it that runs through the entire kind of product, especially again coming from Godman250. So that was Purgatory, the most important waiting room in existence, highlighted because it's again a walking sim, but something that is trying to do something a little bit more, trying to get you to think about things, whilst giving a nice level of humour to it. So they've been the experiences shown today, all very well made, all just very high levels of quality in different areas. So the medium molecule one was you know, very polished, felt good, controlled really well. Spherical, again, controlled well, gave you lots of different aesthetics moving through, and the further you play, the harder it becomes, the more the platforming sort of elements really kick in terms of their difficulty. D-Darius gave me that shmup feeling. It's exactly kind of what I haven't had for a long time in a game, something, that arcade feel that I kind of miss. And it'd be really good to see that expanded upon and brought into kind of like a much larger experience, whether that's maybe 5 or 6 different stages. That would be really good. And then Purgatory, which is kind of its own standalone sort of thing. Once you play through, you're probably not going to expand upon this too much more. You know, something like the Stanley Parable, which this apes a little bit, is you know, a few hours, a bigger experience with multiple kind of playthroughs and multiple endings. And they could do something similar with this as well. But this tells you a really nice, concise kind of experience. And again, which is well made. It gives you a lot of humour. It throws in those questioning kind of elements of when you are the one kind of taking over and making decisions quite well. So go and play all these things, show the creators some love. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to have highlighted. I've had a couple of things which I'm going to take a look at next week in our next video from some friends who want to see some stuff highlighted and shown and played through. So you can get me at Nova_47 on Twitter, on PSN. You can go to outoflives.net, the Out of Lives Facebook page, and you may be on the Out of Lives YouTube page. Leave us some comments in any of those places on the videos. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know if you've enjoyed any of those or if you've played them. But for today, we're finished, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.
www.outoflives.net